Okay, let's go through some basics on dashboard and inquiry management. Now, if we're on the Events tab here, the left-hand side, this section specifically, this is your dashboard area, which refreshes every 5 minutes. It basically polls the GroupM8 database and it checks to see if there's anything outstanding that you really should be acting upon. It looks to see if there's any unread customer questions that you haven't responded to as yet, any unread notes from either yourself or other members of your sales team. It checks to see if there's any payments that are still pending that you haven't released from the card issuer. And it also checks to see if there's any incomplete bookings where people have actually paid for a booking, you've taken the money, but you've yet to confirm the inquiry as a booking. Now you can see here from this under events that we've got a question. An unread customer question by that number 1. You can also see across here there's a company-wide one where there's a 1 in there as well. Now the company-wide refers to all sales agents, the sum total of unread customer questions on all their events. And this one refers just to the logged in user. So if you're just managing your own events, you just click on that. But if you want to manage and monitor everybody's, you click on that one there. So we've only got one event in there at the moment, which comes up after we click it, filters for that. Okay, so there's also another speech bubble with the number 1 in it over here, which is reminding us that there is an unread customer question on this particular event. So if we click on there, it'll open up the main event dialog box here, which has got a series of tabs. And in here we can see the customer question. Hi, how much are extra paintballs? So let's answer that. And click send. Now what that'll do is that'll send the customer a branded email from yourself, and it will also record the conversation, says who has said that, which was me, and the date and time. Any replies to that email that's been sent to the customer that are sent back will enter into this dialogue here and be put above there. So you've got a conversation history, so you can see what the customer said and what you've been saying to the customer during the life cycle of the event. Now we've answered that question, so let's mark it as put a green flag there instead of the red flag, and that removes it from being highlighted on the dashboard any further. So we've not got that call to action going on. Now if we look at some of the other tabs on here, we've got this one, which is the customer details, their initial inquiry information, and a breakdown of what they've made their inquiry about. So we've got a little bit of information in there. If we had full details for our venue, it'd be populated much better. We could resend the quote to the customer again. Now this is the default quote message that is sent out to the customer, and we can customize that message to anything we want. Just put something in there, and if we preview that, then we'll be able to send the customized message to the customer. So there it is, there's my customized message. So if I click send, then you'll see that this side then loads up, and we can see that we've sent it out to the customer again. So we can see the send history to the customer. Admin notes, this is where you record notes that aren't sent to the customer. So we could put in something like, we spoke to the customer on the phone. And that puts that message up there. We can see that it's been timestamped and signed off by me again. It's marked as green because because it's my quote and I've put it in. But if I was making notes on somebody else's quote, then I might want to flag it so that it appeared in their dashboard that there was an inquiry with an admin note that they might be interested in viewing. We can also set alarms. So if I've spoken to the customer on this phone and they've asked me to phone them back tomorrow, I could put please phone customer at home, and we'd put tomorrow's date in and the time. So we're going to phone them at 1 PM, and then if we send that or save that, that sets an alarm. You can tell it's an alarm because there is the alarm clock icon here. It tells us when it's going to go off and who set the alarm again. And what all that happens with this is at that time this flag will change to red and it will start showing up in the owner's dashboard of the event so that they know that there's something that they should be doing with reference to that particular quote or inquiry. Now we can see lots of interesting things about the quote by looking in the stats. We can see information about where it came from, who's currently the agent, and how many times we've sent out the quote to the customer. We can see an organizer history. You can see when the organizer first opened and viewed the quote, how many times they've been back and revisited it, and we can see how active they are with the quote, how many guests they've invited, the total shouts in the dialogue box between guests on the quote, and how many times those guests that have been invited have viewed the quote. And that's the all the information about that particular pop-up. We do have here the payments tab as well, but we'll go through that in another dedicated screencast.